Recording. Okay.
Should we let the?
Yeah, oh, we'll get her.
Oh.
Okay, welcome everybody to the April 8th, 2026 Hawaii Board of Acupuncture meeting. It is 1:02. I'm Dr. Deborah McMenemy, the current chairperson. And what happens next? Do I read the internet access?
We're gonna play this short video.
Okay, we're gonna play the short video.
Welcome to the Professional and Vocational Licensing Virtual Board Meeting.
When the meeting begins momentarily, the chair will take a roll call, explain any specific rules for this particular board, and then move to public comment. The name of the board member will appear on the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. For instance, this is board member Y, and this is board member E. Public testimony will be accepted at the beginning of the meeting and before each agenda item. You can indicate that you are ready to testify by clicking on the Raise Hand button being circled by the mouse on your screen now. At the appropriate time, the board will recognize you to speak and ask you to unmute your mic as shown here. Again, public testimony will be accepted at the beginning of the meeting and before each agenda item. Public attendees will not be able to unmute their microphone until recognized by the board. Public attendees who are recognized to testify will be asked to identify themselves by name and their affiliated organization if applicable. Please mute your microphone when you are finished speaking as a courtesy to others and members of the board. Public attendees will not be able to unmute themselves after the testimony is completed unless recognized again after raising their hand. At some point during the meeting, the board may choose to move into executive session. When the board moves into executive session, the board members' microphones and video feeds will be turned off, and a similar screen as you see now will be displayed. When the board returns from executive session, their microphones will be turned on as well as their video cameras.
Welcome again to the Professional and Vocational Licensing Virtual Board Meeting.
At this time, the chair will call the meeting to order and take a roll call, as well as explain any additional rules that may be specific to this board.
Okay, welcome again, everybody, to the April 8th Hawaii Acupuncture Board. My name is Dr. Deborah McMenemy. I'm the chairperson.
Hi, I am Dr. Brooke Foreman from Kauai, and I am vice chair. Lovely gal.
I'm Marta Rubella, and I'm from
Sherry Mizumoto, acupuncturist on Maui.
Yep. So we have established a quorum. 4 of us are here. Okay, so item number 2, the approval of the minutes. Are there any members from the public that would like to?
We're gonna read the internet access in the morning, so.
All right, back up. Internet access. So to view the meeting and provide live oral testimony, please be connected to the proper agenda. You will be asked to enter your name. Board requests that you enter your full name, but you may use a pseudonym or other identifier if you wish to remain anonymous. You will also be asked for an email address. You may fill in this field with any entry in an email format. For example, @mail.com. Your microphone will be automatically muted. The chairperson asks for public testimony. You may click the raise hand button found on your Zoom screen to indicate that you wish to testify about that agenda item. The chairperson will individually enable each testifier to unmute their microphone. When recognized by the chairperson, please unmute your microphone before speaking and mute your microphone after you. For phone access, you cannot get internet access. You may get audio only access by calling the Zoom phone number listed at the top of the agenda. On dialing the number, you will be prompted to enter the meeting ID, which is also listed at the top of the agenda. After entering the meeting ID, you will be asked to either enter your panelist number or wait to be admitted into the meeting. You will not have a panelist number, so please wait until you are admitted into the meeting. When the chairperson asks for public testimony, you may indicate you want to testify by entering star and then 9 on the phone's keypad. After entering star and then 9, a voice prompt will let you know that the host of the meeting has been notified. When recognized by the chairperson, you may unmute yourself by pressing star and then 6 on your phone. Voice prompt will let you know that you are unmuted. Once you are finished speaking, please enter star and then 6 again to mute yourself. For both internet and phone access, when testifying, you will be asked to identify yourself and the organization, if any, that you represent. Each testifier will be limited to 5 minutes of testimony per agenda item. If connection to the meeting is lost for more than 30 minutes, the meeting will be continued on a specified date and time. The information will be provided on the board's website. Instructions to attend State of Hawaii virtual board meetings may be found online at the board's website. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so we established a quorum. The approval of the minutes is next on the agenda. Are there any members from the public that would like to provide oral testimony on this agenda item?
Good afternoon, Chair. There is no public testimony at this time.
Okay. Has everybody had a chance to review the minutes? Any corrections, changes, addendum? Have any?
I, Marta Rebella, move to adopt the minutes as written.
I, Dr. Brooke Foreman, second.
Aye.
Aye.
It's unanimous. We all move to adopt the minutes as written.
Sorry, just to clarify, that's both the open session and executive session.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Number 3, the applications for licensure. Do I need to read the board and move into executive?
This is attached. So it's on the back page there.
Is there anyone in the audience that has any comments they would like to make about this board agenda item?
There is no public testimony at this time, Chair.
Any comments from those present? Oh, right.
Dr. Brooke Foreman, I move that we approve.
Jeremy Zamoto, I second.
Great. Dr. McMenamy votes yes.
Dr. Brooke Foreman, I,
Yeah.
Marta Rebella, aye.
Jeremy Zamoto, aye.
Unanimously to accept and ratify the applications for licensure as submitted.
congratulations. Yeah.
Pretty short. For
That
that many
is
shorts.
Oh.
You know, they were waiting
Yeah.
a long time.
Well, they ratified them right away. We just have this.
They've been looking.
Okay, item 4, new business. Any discussion on proposed revisions to HAR chapter 16-72? Is there anyone in the public that would like to comment
To move.
on this agenda item?
I do not have any public testimony at this time, Chair.
Thank you. Okay, Jordan, hit us.
So, yeah, I think, I'll premise this just for members of the public. So it's my first time reviewing proposed revisions. There's a few, I think there's a few things that I'd like to discuss with the board on that may pertain to your rights, duties, liabilities. So I would recommend that discussion to be done in executive session. But just so the public's aware, this is regarding the proposed rule revisions that I think were initiated in 2024, I believe. I think the last public hearing was in November of 2024. And so that's what it's going to pertain to. So if you guys are agreeable to go into executive session, you guys can move in.
I, Deborah McMenamy, move that we go into executive session to discuss agenda item 4A.
I move that I second it.
Aye. Unanimous. Aye. Sorry, Jane.
Jane.
Okay.
I like the color you got. Tortoise and a
They're
pink.
from TJ Maxx.
Awesome.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We're gonna get a compliment on something I bought. It's not my Tommy Bahama stuff.
This is my Tommy Bahama from TJ
TJ
Maxx.
Maxx is my favorite store.
Yeah.
That's on the docket.
I'm a big
So are we back on?
Yes.
We're back. Okay. Okay, we're back in. We're conversation on agenda item number 4, the new business. We had a discussion on the proposed revisions to HR Chapter 16-72. And after conferring with our Jordan King, our Deputy Attorney General, the board has moved and decided to restore the definition of traditional orientation in the proposed revised rules. That is 1672-3. We're going to restore that. 1672-4, under the authorized practice of acupuncture, we are striking acupuncture injection therapy. And then under 1672-12, number 6, we are adding the reference to 436E-3.6. And under 1672-46 for the renewal, we are removing the requirement for CPR certification. Would I take a vote on that?
Sure, yeah.
Public?
I move that we adopt what Dr. Geppy McKennedy said.
I second. Dr. Brooke Foreman.
Dr. Deborah McMenamy, aye.
Sherry Mizumoto, aye.
Marta Rebella, aye.
Dr. Brooke Foreman, aye.
Great, thank you. That's unanimously moved.
Okay.
Now you can read it.
Jordan, is it appropriate to say you're going to get back to us with that?
Yeah.
Who starts the process? B, the scope of practice section. So a practitioner has inquired regarding the scope of practice for acupuncturists with shockwave therapy. Y'all got all of the attachments for that. So I looked some things up on the internet, and it says in Hawaii, shockwave therapy is considered a medical or therapeutic modality, and that we require physicians, MD, DOs, physical therapists, chiropractors, podiatrists, or naturopathic physicians to use this therapy. So given what I know that I've looked up, I believe that this is not our scope of work. In our scope of practice, sorry, not our scope of work. Oh, I guess I should have asked for comments. I'm sorry. Please excuse me. Is there anyone that would like to comment on this agenda item?
I do not have any public testimony at this time, Chair.
Jordan, do you? Oh, Chair. Yes, sorry.
Hi.
Jane.
Jane Tsuchiyama, licensed acupuncture in Hawaii. I gathered from what you discussed in executive session that you had some topics with our rules revisions. And so I was a little surprised at the CPR. So is that a done deal, or can we make an appeal on that?
Am I allowed to
Take public comment.
comment on it though?
Yeah, I mean, you can receive public comment, or yeah, and you can comment on it.
Okay. So we don't require it to get your license. It's not in our statutes.
Okay.
It's not in our rules. So it's just kind of pops up and shows up in renewals
Okay.
out of the blue. So it's something we can go back and revisit, but it needs to
be understood. Yeah, yeah.
Assistant, yeah.
And then same with AIT, we can go back and revisit.
With AIT,
Injection therapy. Acupuncture injection.
that would be something that we would have to add to our statutes.
Okay,
It's
Oh.
not there. Yes.
okay, so we got it. All righty. Thank you, Chair.
So the shockwave therapy,
Shockwave?
is it
Comments?
included or not?
I don't believe it is.
I think there's a case in here because it is we do in traditional Oriental medicine, do gua sha, cupping, acupressure, manual therapies on people where we're touching the body, we are stimulating the body in different ways. We even use electrical stimulation with the needles, which is also a form of this type of wave therapy. And so, we do use electrical in our daily life of doing acupuncture. And I think that this is one of those things that, is quite safe, and it's like put on the body where it's almost like a laser or something like that. And I don't see why it would not be.
We can do laser.
It's considered a level, sorry, I forgot which level it's considered, but it's a level of instrument that requires a medical person to have it. So where E-stim is a very low level, gua shas by hand, it's the level that this machine is at, that for some reason Hawaii considers that, these people can use it and we can't. I get that it's stimulating acupuncture points and Usher and meridians, but it's the class, the device that it is, I think puts it outside of our scope of practice.
I don't know if we know that for sure. She has a
Sarah,
question.
can I make comment?
Yes.
I just wonder, I'm not really familiar with shockwave therapy is myself. And I guess my question would be, is it taught in the schools? And so I think that electrostim and all these other therapies that Brooke mentioned are taught in the schools and are part of the accredited curriculum. I'm not familiar with shockwave therapy, so I think that
I don't know enough about it.
needs further explanation.
Well, a friend of mine, acupuncturist, has one in his clinic and uses it. But I think he's in North Carolina or something like that.
Well, it seems like more research
Yeah, I
is
didn't.
needed.
I think a little bit more investigation of it. We could look and see what is out there. I don't know a lot about it. I've never used it myself, but it is being used by acupuncturists in the country. So,
So who would do that kind of research for us?
I think it would be either the executive officer or the commission, or the board itself. I mean, I can analyze it from a legal, but I like from the practitioner level, I don't think I'm qualified to, yeah.
I would like to know
The
from the
legal
legal.
level, that's what
Yeah.
I'm interested in.
Oh, well, legal, I mean, in reviewing, we can go into executive sessions to the extent I might give advice, but I hear what she's saying, like this could arguably fall into like stimulation of certain acupuncture points using, but I think whether or not this is included in the practice, I think that's that's why I think it's more of a, because I think it could fall under it, like if, to the extent that this device is used to stimulate certain acupuncture points, it's electrical, mechanical, but I think things you need to consider is, are you saying that you're required to have an acupuncture license in order to operate this? If so, what's the basis for that? Is it included in your curriculum? Is it, how does it relate to acupuncture? I think just because it could fall under it doesn't mean it necessarily, so that's just my thoughts. So I think if you want to defer for more research, that's appropriate. It looks like there's someone else who would like to testify. I see.
I might also have Jane was raising her hand.
Whoever first, but we should acknowledge it.
Well, actually, I think this is a great segue for if everybody still has time for our presentation, because NCBAHM is sort of precisely the sort of certification area that would be a great resource to provide perspective on scope and regulations and requirements for what's being done nationally or statewide. So I think it's a great segue.
Okay.
If you want to leave it.
Whoever has their hand raised would be next.
Our friend Mel.
Who was that, Mel?
Hi, hello, aloha. This is Melissa. Thank you for opening this space. I just would like to make a comment about, because I was reading about the shockwave as well. I didn't know that was in powder today, but so when I was talking with the representatives that sell the equipments, they told me that is a class 1 medical device. And my understanding, we are allowed to use class 1 medical devices because the electrical stimulation, it is a class 1 medical device. So I think it's, and it's not, the device is not teaching, it's not teaching in this school settings. All the other doctors and the other providers, they are providing services that use this device. They are not having the classes because it's taught by the manufacturer when you decide to have this incorporated in your practice. So I don't think that it's something that we're going to see in the classes of the acupuncture school, but it is a device that it could be incorporated the same way other providers are incorporating in their everyday practice. So that is my comment that I'd like to share. But yeah, I do agree that more investigation and more, because yes, there is a lot of acupuncturists using it around the country. There's something in the that's used around the country. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mel.
I hope you guys could hear me. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Got it. So I defer.
Then just defer it. I'm Marta Rebella, move that we defer this for further investigation.
I, Brooke Foreman. Second.
Dr. McMenemy, aye.
Marta Rebella.
Okay. So Jordan, can you see if there's anything in the law?
I mean, I think I know what I know already for the law. I think what it needs to be, it's more the practitioner level that I think there needs to be understanding of, which I don't know if I'm the correct person to look in.
Well, I've read that Hawaii requires these 5 different licenses to do this. Is
Do shockwave
that
therapy?
true? Yeah.
Well, software TRT Orthogold 100 is clear for specific medical uses. So not for
I think that's where
acupuncture.
I think that's where we
Yeah.
need the.
Well, I think I can work with the executive officers on,
Okay.
and I can provide legal analysis. I think I need to be clear though, it's like, I don't know how in-depth I can get into the practitioner level.
And really, like, is somebody else licensed to use this machine that is not us?
I can work with the EOs and.
Great. Thank you. Okay, good. New business number C, reports from Jane.
Yay, Jane.
Do you mind if I sit over there so I can say hi to Jordan and Nancy and make sure they don't get bored?
We want you to be in the camera.
Okay, but I'll get on, okay, see.
Okay.
And then maybe we can ask for public comment, if there's any public comment
Is
on
there
it.
any public comment? Thank you for 4C reports from Dr. Jane. Now your hand is still up. Oh, okay.
All right, great. Okay.
I think so. No public comment?
Okay. Well, thank you for putting us on the agenda. We're really happy to be here and happy to be here for your early days on the board. So I really wanted to get a chance to meet Nancy and Jordan, and they call me by your first names. And hope that you're going to be here for a little while. But to let you know, I'm a Hawaii licensed acupuncturist. I've been licensed here since 2006. And since then, I practice at Queens Medical Center in the oncology department and the Women's Health Center, as well as working very closely with Susan G. Komen Foundation to work on getting oncology grants. I also had the pleasure to be on the Hawaii Board of Acupuncture with Governors Abercrombie and Ige. And it was sort of while I was on this board that I realized that once I sort of aged out of this board, it would be great to go on to the NCBAHM board, which was formerly known as NCCOM, because every time I was in a situation like, hey, is this therapy allowed, or is this used in this state? I would be able to call up NCCOM at that time, and they would be able to give me answers. So I think that what I realized while I was on the Hawaii board is that this accrediting body has so much data for us to share so that we can practice safely. And I think that's the key thing, is that we want to make sure that our patients in the community are safe with our practice, and that the acupuncturists who are out there are doing the right thing and keeping the public safe. So that's sort of what I felt really in line with what NCCOM, NCBHM was doing while I was on this board. So now I'm on the board, and actually, Olga, are you in charge of the slides? Can you put up the slide? Go right to our first decade slide. So this is our first, you can see I was on the board. That's Joni Kroll, who was a longstanding practitioner. And then Kepi, she was sort of, deer in the headlights. What am I doing here? So anyway, we had a great time on the board. But you can see that we're a very dedicated group in Hawaii. The acupuncturists here are really sort of follow what's going on and try to stay on top, and really try not to have any scope encroachment, or to not, to do the right thing. But this is our first decade of rules revision, and I can see that we're still in it. So we're in our second decade of rules revision. So next slide, Olga. So we're going to try to keep it short, because I know that there's a storm coming and you guys are spent a little to get there. But the key takeaway for today is we just want to let you know that we're really here if you need to lean on us for any information that you might need. That we're really committed to public safety and professional standards, and especially now with like what we're just talking about, there's so many different instruments and so many different vehicles that people are saying, well, it's in my scope or in my scope, and so we're just trying to keep the public safe. We really support those states. We also believe in federal advocacy to make sure that when these kids graduate from acupuncture school, they have a good living and they can make a living, but also are safe. We really like today I want to show you the value of certification and recertification in terms of helping state boards with administrative work, as well as ethics and safety issues. So with that, on the call, I'll just let you know, and then I'm going to turn it over to Mina. Myself, there's Mina, who's the Chief Executive Officer of NCBAHM, Olga, who's the Chief COO, Rosie, who's in charge of education and CEUs, and Casey, who's in charge of professional ethics and disciplinary issues. So going to be short and succinct, and I'm going to turn it over to Mina. Mina, are you there?
Oh, yes, they just, I was unmuted. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And yes, we promise to keep this brief because we know your time is precious. Thank you so much for allowing us to present today. I just wanted a little history on our organization. We've been around since 1982, and we've worked with states for over 4 decades, really, trying to establish standards and help them and have them rely on us. We were called the National Certification Commission for Acupuncture. We added the Oriental Medicine in the late 90s, and then we are now the National Certification Board for Acupuncture and Herbal Medicine. After some public comments and feedback from the acupuncture and herbal medicine community, we changed our name. And this logo, the blue logo here, looks familiar because that's what our logo used to be many years ago. I've been with the NCCM for 23 years. In fact, I've known Jane almost that long. We worked together for many years when she was the chair of the Hawaii board on many issues that came up that we were able to lend support. And we will continue to do so. Next slide. So in terms of our mission, we have an alignment with our mission with the Hawaii Board of Acupuncture and the 47 states that regulate acupuncture. Our mission is really public safety. We're here to really support the public and make sure that we're advancing the profession and the practice of acupuncture and herbal medicine by really 4 areas. We call the 4 pillars. One is through our examinations. We make sure that our examinations are updated regularly, and Hawaii requiring all 4 of our examinations. It's important that we continue to update and keep everything communication open, as well as ensuring that the certification examinations content outlines are relevant. We'll do that through the job analysis process that I'll talk about in a little bit. But the public safety aspect of it is very important. And Casey will talk about the ethical discipline and committee work, which is very, very important because there's a lot of unfortunate situations happening with practitioners that are committing fraud, serious crime, sexual assault, that we immediately report that information and share it with our state licensing board partners. And then, of course, ongoing competence, which is another word for recertification and maintenance of certification. And this is something that we really want our state board partners to rely on, put the burden of the recertification process on our shoulders, the financial burden, and also this continuing education approval. And Rosie will talk a little bit about that in terms of our process of how we process recertification and we ensure continued competence. Next slide. So I'm going to turn it over to Olga, who's going to talk a little bit about public safety and the core business of our organization. Olga?
Thank you, Mina. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Thank you all for the opportunity to be here today and to share our work with you. I would like to briefly explain what exactly NCBHM does as a national certifying body and how this work supports public safety and state regulations. First, certification. Certification program administration is the core of our business. NCBHM develops and administers national certification programs in acupuncture, Chinese herbology, and acupuncture and herbal medicine that was previously known as Oriental Medicine certification. All these programs are accredited by the National Commission for Certifying Agencies, which ensures they meet rigorous national standards. Second is recertification or maintenance of certification. This process confirms that NCBHM diplomates remain current in their knowledge and skills throughout their professional careers. Ongoing competence benefits not only practitioners, but also regulators, employers, and most importantly, the public. We also have PDA program, which approves continuing education providers. Approved providers issue PDA or CEU points that counts towards our recertification, giving states confidence that continuing education is vetted and traceable. Finally, we offer practice tests to help candidates prepare for certification exams. These tools support exam readiness while maintaining the integrity of credentialing process. Together, these core functions, all 4, create comprehensive system that supports professional standards, accountability, and public protection, while also reducing the administrative burden on state regulatory boards. Next slide. This slide highlights the broader significance of having consistent national standards for the profession. National standards establish a clear minimum level of competence that employers, regulators, and federal agencies rely on. Today, many hospital system and hospitals and healthcare systems and federal employers like VA and DoD, Department of Defense, require national board certification, which expands legitimate employment opportunities for practitioners. National standards also demonstrate the profession's commitment to excellence, ethical practice, and self-regulations. Certified practitioners are held to the NCBHM Code of Ethics and subject to disciplinary oversight, which reinforces public trust. Finally, because NCBHM certification programs are NCCA accredited, these standards are evidence-based, independently validated, and legally defensible. In short, national standards protect the public, support workforce recognition, and provide state boards with reliable foundations for regulation. Next slide. Now that we discussed accreditation and national standards, this slide explains what NCBHM exactly NCBHM board certification actually represents in practice. It represents nationally recognized standard of education, testing, ethics, and ongoing competence. To become certified, practitioners must graduate from an accredited program, complete clean needle technique training, and pass nationally accredited, psychometrically valid examinations. Certified practitioners earn nationally recognized credentials and agree to uphold the NCBHM Code of Ethics and professional oversight. Importantly, certification is maintained through ongoing education, CPR, and regular recertification. In short, NCBHM board certification verifies competence, ethical practice, and continued accountability, giving regulators and public confidence in practitioner qualification. Next slide. Another critical component of public protection is professional ethics and discipline. And this slide explains how NCBHM addresses that responsibility. NCBHM maintains a comprehensive national framework for professional ethics and disciplinary oversight. All applicants, diplomates, and PDA providers are required to adhere to NCBHM Code of Ethics, which establishes clear expectations for professional conduct and patient safety. This system allows NCBHM to support state boards by reinforcing ethical standards at the national level while avoiding duplication of investigative efforts. Importantly, all ethic policies are procedures are publicly available, providing transparency and consistency for practitioners, regulators, and the public. NCBHM ethic and disciplinary framework strengthens accountability, supports state regulations, and helps safeguard public trust in the profession. And to elaborate on this framework, I give the floor to Casey Smith, the coordinator of the NCBHM Professional Ethics and Disciplinary Committee. Casey? Casey, unmute yourself.
Oh, sorry. That is an instance to Jordan to help.
Can you hear me okay?
That was going on, so we're able to dive into. Okay. Sorry, Katie, giving us some background.
Hi, it's a pleasure to be here with you all today. So the PEDC is very important. Our mission is to protect public safety nationally by establishing and enforcing the highest standards of care for the profession. It's to promote safe, ethical practice through consistent standards across jurisdictions. And that mission is what led to the development of our National Disciplinary Database, which is right here. You can access it on our website. Next slide. So what is it? This is what it looks like. It's a national record of final due process-based disciplinary actions and includes only outcomes, so not complaints, allegations, or investigations. Because certification is national, practitioners may practice or apply across jurisdictions and different states. The database helps prevent serious misconduct from remaining siloed or unknown when a practitioner moves or seeks licensure elsewhere. And this is why certification is so important. It establishes more than entry-level competence. It creates accountability that is tied to professional ethics and conduct. Next slide. So the data here shows the range of disciplinary categories over time. So starting from 2020 up until now. Most cases are non-criminal and involve administrative or professional issues. Examples are record keeping, misleading false information, etc. Now, boundary violations and sexual misconduct cases tend to receive the greatest public and media attention, which increases the importance of a timely and measured response. One disciplinary category that remains consistent year after year is action based on orders from state boards, schools, or professional associations. Now, this highlights the critical role of regulatory partnerships in identifying and addressing misconduct. So when information is delayed or not shared, serious discipline may surface later, and sometimes through recertification disclosures and sometimes in reverse. And this underscores why formal, timely information sharing agreements are essential for public protection. Next slide. So information sharing is most effective when it is formal, reliable, and reciprocal. So our MOUs with states allow for the exchange of verified disciplinary information while respecting confidentiality, statutory authority, and due process. For state boards, MOUs provide timely access to national level disciplinary outcomes that may not yet be known locally. Ultimately, MOUs strengthen public protection without duplicating regulatory authority or adding unnecessary burden. Next slide. And if you're interested in learning more about any of what I talked about, this is our contact information. So it's pedrstaff@ncbahm.org. Now I'll turn it over to our Director of Education and Professional Development, Rosie Lee.
Hello, thank you for having me. So as you can see, this map provides a national snapshot of how states rely on NCBHM for licensure purposes. And so you can see that a lot of states, most of our jurisdictions, states either use our examinations as part of the licensing process or require our certification outright as a condition of licensure. So really, it's just to show you how our national certification functions as a regulatory support tool, really a mechanism that allows states to focus on their resources on enforcement, oversight, and public protection. Next slide, please. And so certification is not a one-time event. Ongoing competence is really essential in healthcare. And so that's where our recertification comes in. And so here you can see all our diplomates need 60 PDA points in a 4-year cycle. And so these PDA points or CU credits are accepted if they complete the courses through state acupuncture regulatory boards as well. And so with that, we track and report all PDAs and CUs to the online recertification transcript. And so everything with the online application as well as the recertification is completely online between the online application, the payment, as well as the certificates of completion. Next slide, please. And so part of the reason why I want to go over this with you all is because we have everything in this centralized auditable record for continuing education, it really provides a clear documentation that can help support the state licensing renewals as well as any audits. And so this would really reduce any sort of administrative burden for both practitioners and our state regulatory boards, especially because when with recertification, we require them to complete a minimum of 30 hours in core competency. So keep in mind that we do say they need to complete a minimum of 60 hours in total every 4 years. So half of that has to be on these topics shown on this slide here. So whether if it's AHM, biomedicine, safety, or ethics, they also have to pretty much complete an online or in-person CPR course that is at least a minimum of 4 hours. And so ultimately for our state regulatory boards, it really means that you're not doing this reporting alone by yourself. It is verified by us as well for continuing education compliance. Next slide, please. And so here I want to talk a little bit about how we support transparency and verification through our continuing education. So part of what I do personally is more of approving all of the continuing education courses, as well as the continuing education host organizations, like what we call our PDA providers. And so all PDA approved coursework, as well as the PDA providers to our continuing education organizations, are reviewed with detailed applications. So this means that our staff is not only auditing our recertification at 100%, but we're also reviewing all incoming coursework on the front end to ensure that all approved education meets our national certification standards. So a lot of this you see here are the features that we offer to our diplomates. So the C banking that you see on the left-hand side are what our PDA providers are able to directly deposit these PDA points or the credits into our diplomate's official transcript. And so these credits, our calculations are automatic and they are verified automatically by our system. And so the section on the right that you see about My Learning is where all these PD certificates or certificates of completion are housed within the last 7 years. So our diplomates can go in there at any time and retrieve those certificates to report for state licensing, for their state renewal, or even for their employer verification purposes. And so part of this very last bit is that it really matters because this builds that confidence in continuing education that has been independently reviewed against our national standards. And so it reduces any sort of reliances on self-reported continuing education claims. And so it makes that verification really easy for audits, investigations, as well as license renewals. And biggest thing is just less administrative burden placed on our state board staff. Next slide, please. And so with that, I'm going to turn this over to our CEO, Mina Larson, to talk a little bit more about our federal partnerships. Mina?
Thank you. And I just realized I could have
Can
turned
I
my camera on.
interrupt here? How long is this?
This is the last.
Okay.
This is the last one. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I won't. I'll just keep it short. And basically, the next couple slides is about what we can really do to provide support. And I know with Nancy and Jordan coming on board, we really want to be able to strengthen our partnership with you both, and really be able to help you, just as we did with the former staff of the board. So one of the things I just wanted to talk about is our job analysis. The only thing I'll say about this is that we do a survey every 5 to 7 years, and this is very important information that's on our website. This really, the survey talks about, what the profession's doing now, which is modeled after exams, not what schools are teaching, but what practitioners are practicing every day. Hawaii acupuncturists were surveyed as part of this, and this national information is on our website. We use this information through, to be able to get recognition at the federal level. Here we're in Washington, D.C., and we meet with government agencies regularly. Next slide. So because of this reason, we were able to work with departments like the Department of Labor, Bureau of Labor Statistics, where we were able to get our own specific code. The NCBHM is very much about federal recognition because we want to be integrated in the hospitals. We want to be able to have more jobs within the VA, within the Department of Defense. We want as many acupuncturists, particularly students who are graduating, to be able to be employed. And this is why we're really working together to see the profession grow. And the BLS is a major component of that. Before that, we weren't even a profession under the eyes of the federal government. We were underneath chiropractors and nurses. Now we have our own code. The government actually tracks us in terms of our demographics. And we recently shared a lot of our information from our job analysis with the BLS so that we can continue to be not just collect information from the government, but also to be able to be recognized and also to be able to be part of government so we can have more, our profession can grow. The next slide. So we have done some advocacy work. I'm not going to go into too much into the detail. We are doing work on the Hill with Medicare bill because we want to be full Medicare providers. All this information is on our website. You can certainly gather it. And why is the certification board doing all of this? Is because we want to be able to grow the profession. We want to be able to partner with organizations, other national organizations, so that we can really acupuncturists can be in every setting, and it's all about access, making sure anyone who wants to be able to get acupuncture can, not just people who can afford it or not just people who have really good insurance, everyone. That's our goal. Next slide, please. So how that all works together is really working together with
Sorry, Nina.
Yes.
Can you just go to the next slide? Because everybody needs to.
Yeah.
So
then
I know. Oh, right. Oh, okay. Yeah. Just go to the last. Yeah. Why don't you skip?
Just continue, Olga. Continue. Go through collaborations. Go through the VA. I don't think we need to go into all of that.
Let's end because some people have to catch a flight here. But I think what's important right now, we just had a really good success with partnering with the VA, and I think Kepi just sort of mentioned that in terms of Hawaii has one of the biggest participations in sort of with this new system to enable a veteran who wants service, who wants acupuncture, goes online, gets in touch with Kepi, is able to book, and this all happens within days. This is sort of really remarkable because this used to take 60 days, but that sort of happened as a collaboration between NCBHM and the VA department. And I think that's the thing that we're seeing. And I think because I jumped in on this meeting here because I knew it was your first couple of moments on the board, is I think that collaboration is so important now in terms of healthcare, because we need to be able to make sure things don't fall through the cracks. And with budget cuts, staff cuts, and people not being able to find jobs, I think it's important that we all try to share information and work together. So I think that's really why I wanted to grab everybody. I want to make sure everybody makes their flight and doesn't get caught in rain. So with that, I'm going to thank the guys on the East Coast.
Someone can send the PowerPoint, the acupuncture image box. I can attach to minutes.
That'd be terrific. And then I also would like to put down all the contacts. So in case you want to contact somebody at PEDC or something, that we have that. But anyway, thank you all on the East Coast for staying up and presenting. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks so much. Thank you. No, seriously, thanks a lot. And I really,
Can I talk to you?
Sure, absolutely. Thank you so much. Good. Sorry, it took a little longer, but we thought we have more room.
It's a good introduction.
I know, exactly, yeah.
Perfect timing.
Terrific. The newbies. Thank you so much. Hope you all catch your flight.
Hey, agenda item number 6, the next board meeting.
I think Wednesday.
Wednesday.
24th.
Is June 25th.
That's 24th.
June.
Oh, yeah.
I think the 25th is a Thursday.
Is it? June.
The 25th is a Thursday.
Yes, so is it the 24th or the 25th?
I think it's the 24th, right?
It says the 25th. That's why I asked her.
Okay.
Switch to Thursday.
Okay, we will confirm and then send. Yeah. Oh, I think this is correct, right? Okay.
Which one do you think is correct? June 25th. All right, so Thursday, June 25th.
Switch it back.
If that's wrong, let us know.
Yeah.
You can leave. All right. I adjourn this meeting.
2:42.
Thank you, everybody.
Good meeting, everybody.